Alright, guys and gals, this is Northman, and we are back with some more Tarkov. This time around, we're talking duo strategies. So, two-man plays and stuff like that. First off, we're going to talk movement. So, right off the bat, you're moving with another person. You got to kind of take them into a consideration. You also don't want to get both of you killed because you're stacked too close together. So, this first few clips are all about how we move or cover while moving. So, in this first one, you're seeing me cross the middle land bridge to get across the water, and Carl's actually moving about 20, 30 yards behind me, and we just keep a good roving coverage. Here, I'm using Map Genie and showing you guys kind of how that movement and where we're looking is like. At one point, I turn around just to cover behind us, and then I actually engage with a scav up here, and you can see Carl actually comes up while I'm holding and shooting. And tries to flank it. I end up getting it, but it actually works pretty well. You can see also, if you go back, we both move up the separate concrete walls. This way, if someone actually shoots at the other person, we can get target on and actually help cover. In this next area, we're actually in the main chunk of construction, and Carl's up top, and I'm moving across to get to what we call blue brick over here in the corner. So what I'm doing here is Carl had actually engaged with someone in the skeleton or cranes area, and I'm trying to get cover. Didn't see him, so I kept moving. Carl ends up getting shot at, and then as I'm getting in position to cover, he loops out to get on the hill. I continue with where I'm going. Unfortunately, because of timing, I wasn't in position to really provide cover, but I'm able to verify when that guy moves out, and then we're able to continue with the raid and do some more fights. Ends up working out pretty good. We ended up engaging with these guys a couple times, and it ended up being a good raid. But as you can see, we're always constantly trying to cover each other, either with a stationary position or by covering on the move. You can see I actually held up and tried to cover and clear once I heard Carl get shot at there, and it just unfortunately was in the wrong position. Okay, so now in this next section, we're actually going to cover down on how we like to play as a duo. Primarily, our strategy is to take two locations where we can actually get wide coverage of the map and actually defend each other pretty effectively. So I take what we call cranes, a lot of people call it skeletons, and Carl takes upper construction. So now I can actually shoot back and cover him, and he can shoot toward me and cover me. If someone comes up below me, he can engage them. If someone comes up below him, I can engage them. This is not exactly the most effective position really for me to cover him, but we're able to do it pretty effectively. In our experience, I can actually keep people off of him fairly well. And then also with these positions, Carl is actually able to monitor out toward the waterfront and the bridge, and I can rotate and look at big intel or crack house as people call it, and dorms. Once we actually get into an engagement, you can see here I rotate over and I'm actually covering a different area, and we start getting into a fight with these guys. Couple players, I'm running rip ammo and I'm just not putting people down because they have even class 3 armor. It just is enough. So we ended up doing quite a bit of cat and mouse with these guys, but because Carl was able to maintain one stationary position and I was able to flank around, it worked pretty effectively. And then once I disengage and try and get a further flank, try and engage these guys from across the water, I actually get pushed by a player scav, and Carl is able to cover me from his position, take out that player scav, no issue. And then we just backed out. These guys had moved off, and it wasn't really worth continuing the fight. Okay, now the last stuff I want to talk about is ambush strategy. So in here, me and Cam are playing in Resort, and Cam actually ends up being a bait person. We end up getting a two-man to push him. I pop out and engage with him. Not the best. Kind of panicked when I realized there was two, and ended up getting the second one. First one got behind cover before I got on in there. But this is an effective strategy that you're going to want to employ. Having bait and then bringing people into an ambush as a duo, you can actually take on 4-mans and 5-mans pretty effectively. There's also the other strategy, which is bait and switch. So as one of you engages, if you're linearly spaced, this worked out pretty nice where we were spaced separate of each other. But if you're linear where one of you is forward of the other one, you can actually have the forward person back out and you push from the rear, from behind them, and try and engage and then you just keep rotating back and forth like that. It's pretty effective. I don't have a great video of us employing that, really. We don't usually use that method. It's more of a effective one indoors, where you try and get people to draw in at a sprint, and then you engage with them as you push, and they don't expect you to be there. All in all, the best strategy is whatever's going to work for you guys. So this is just to help newer players try and figure out what's going to work. These are things that we use that are super effective, and I hope you guys get some use out of them. If you've got other strategies that you'd like to see in a video, go ahead and comment down below. This is duos, so I do have the solo video where I talk more theory about how to run as a solo player. All of that stuff still applies. Map knowledge is king. Like, you're gonna do way better if you have better map knowledge. But go ahead and see what works for you, and then I will have a trios video where I show kind of more of the strategies we employ there. They're just more complicated versions of the duos. So if you guys have another version or another strategy you'd like to see me include, leave the comment down below, and go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it.